book Rich Dad Poor Dad has impacted millions of lives worldwide. It is a 6-time New York Times bestseller and written in over 150 languages. The tagline for the book is what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and middle class do not. We run one of Rich Dad's largest and most active Cashflow clubs. It is a volunteer-run business school that uses simulations to teach investing, finance, and entrepreneurship. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rich Dad's Cashflow Clubs. My name is Roger Moore. Some people call me 007. So, today we're here to talk about our favorite topic in the world, money. And this is a recession, and lots of people are scared. They're scared about their jobs. We heard about 2 methanol plants that got closed down recently. Lots of people lost their jobs, their one source of income. And, you know, even the steel workers are still going up in the newspaper asking for help from the government, from the ministries. They don't even want handouts. They want entrepreneurship training. We do entrepreneurship training, and we are the best at entrepreneurship training. What makes us different is that we use simulations to teach entrepreneurship and investing. You have to teach both together in addition to finance, because finance, investing, that is actually the language of business. And lots of people don't know the language of business. You can't, go into business and be successful if you can't speak that language. It's like being dropped in the middle of Caracas, Venezuela, and being told to find a hotel and get a taxi and buy food, and you can't speak Spanish. Imagine how horrifying that'll be. That's what people go through when they go into business and they can't speak the language of business. So we tell people, read Rich Dad Poor Dad, do cash flow, learn as much as you can, because the language of finance, not many people know how to speak that language. If I tell you I aim for 30% return on investment and over, you don't know how to calculate return on investment. Most people, if they see a fund in the newspaper that grows at 4%, they go crazy. And they're going to spend their money on that investment thinking that's a good investment. Now, if you're an employee and you want to remain an employee all your life, well, by all means, that's a good investment. But if you're a business owner or an investor and you're financially educated, you're going to want to aim for 30% return and over. So Rich Dad Poor Dad is a very important book. The tagline of Rich Dad Poor Dad is what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and middle class do not. Now, what makes us very different too is our definition of an asset. An asset puts money into your pocket every single day, whether you work or not. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Very, very simple. So an asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out your pocket. So the house you're living in, asset or liability? To the vast majority of the population of Trinidad and Tobago, it's a huge liability. Money comes out of your pocket every single month. Even if you pay off your mortgage, it's still a liability, because you still have to pay electricity, you still have to pay a water bill, you still have to buy, fix up the house and buy groceries. Money comes out of your pocket every single month. So how can you turn your asset, your house, into how you can turn your house into an asset? You can rent out some rooms. There are other things you can do to make your house an asset. I have one friend who has an apartment in Kirep. He has about 3 bedrooms there. Now what he does, he uses Airbnb to fill his rooms up with tourists and charges them US dollars. That's a smart guy. And mind you, a Cashflow Club graduate. So there are 3 asset classes. The first one is real estate. And if you're tuning into our program over the past couple of weeks, you've realized that we have been increasingly talking more and more about real estate. Lots of people, especially people who think they're middle class, only realize they are poor, how poor they are when they try to buy that rental property or that real estate property, that's when you realize how much you're actually struggling financially. We don't want you to struggle. The second asset class is my personal favorite. I'm biased to it. It's business. I love business. And in the field of business, I love franchises. I think franchises is the greatest game in town. Some people love network marketing. That's their thing. It's not my thing. Some people love, startups, start business from scratch. I kind of like that too. I do it occasionally. But I prefer to buy franchises. Why? Because it's like being paid to go to a business school. Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, started off with Benjamin Franklin franchises back in the 60s. Those are general store franchises. And, he learned about business from those franchises. He learned about business inside out. And then he came up with the idea for Walmart and built Walmart from scratch. That's because of his exposure to franchises. The education is amazing. The third asset class is paper assets. Those are your stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. A lot of people invest in paper assets, especially stocks. Cashflow members love to invest in stocks only when it's a recession, or major recession, I should say, because right now, a lot of us are avoiding the stock market because things are still too good. We want it to be cheaper because we buy low, sell high. That's our technique. So those are three asset classes: real estate, business, and paper assets. Now, in my personal favorite, business, it's all about having a team. Because as we say in Cashflow Club, business and investing are team sports. Now, I think it was last year. Last year I had one of these guys did Cashflow, and he had a lot of potential. He became a business coach. In fact, he became my business coach. And I have this gentleman live on air with me. His name is John Ruman. Say good morning, John.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's awesome to be here, Roger.
Hey, thanks for coming. So John Ruman is my business coach. And John, your coaching company, what's it called?
It's called JJR Global. We're based out of the United States.
Okay, very nice. And you're training Trinidadians as well, right?
I am training Trinidadians as well.
So
yes.
last I checked, I'm Trinidadian. Right. So the good thing about it is, just like a professional athlete, funny enough, I'm a national athlete. I would not be able to play at a high level if I didn't have a coach who's guiding me along, correcting my mistakes. That's what a coach does. He sees your faults better than you would see your own faults. So to have John as my coach, because I run Cashflow Clubs, which is, even though it's a small company, it's a lot of members. It's very hard to manage. Now, even though I'm really good at sales, in terms of systems, I don't have a lot of things in place. And John found all those holes, and he's immediately started clogging those holes with solutions that work for us. I also run another company called Mad Science, another fast-growing company. And again, a lot of holes. I'm good at sales, but I still have a lot of holes in my system. John already started working on that as well. And just recently, my team and I, we purchased a new franchise called Remax. That's a real estate brokerage franchise from the States. And we're about to start selling real estate. But, again, we are going to have a lot of holes. And this is where a business coach comes in and guides you along and helps you to become successful. So, John, how long have you been running this business now?
The actual coaching I've been doing for about 2 years, but I owned a financial planning company in the U.S. for about 15, and I did a lot of business and financial consulting in that.
Oh, wow. Okay, which part of the States?
I was in upstate New York.
Upstate New York, okay.
Yeah, I was about 3 hours from New York City.
So you're here to stay?
I am here to stay.
All right. So he's officially Trinidadian with an accent. So
I have the Trinidadian accent.
Nice. All right. So this new coaching business, I see you do a lot of videos on Facebook and that kind of thing. I mean, it created a lot of excitement. A lot of people saw it and they got really excited and they started calling you immediately.
Yes, it's been beautiful.
So with the perfect clientele for his coaching would be those that are already in business?
Already in business, looking to start a business.
Okay, so entrepreneurs as well.
Because a lot of startups really don't know how to run a business. They have a great idea, but they don't know the interworkings of a business.
Yeah.
I often get a lot of people who are kind of creatives and artists because, again, they're very passionate, a lot of great ideas, but don't have a good business mind all the time. So I help them, as you say, create the teams and systems so that they can run their business, and still have that creative mind, because it's two very different mindsets.
Yeah, left brain and right brain.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So Cashflow Club is like a huge support network. We all help each other in business and real estate and investments and stuff. But every now and again, you're going to need somebody who's there with you on a regular basis. How often you meet your clients and guide them through their business? Like how often?
So typically it's 3 to 4 times a month. Once a week is the most beneficial for the client,
right.
But a minimum of every 2 weeks is the recommended, because a lot of it is creating tasks or homework or play work, whatever term you want to give it for the client, and then they commit to doing that.
Yeah.
I hold them accountable to that.
Yep, I know that for sure.
Roger understands this clearly.
So John gives us a lot of Tiffany and I a lot of homework. Tiffany is our manager at the office. He gives us a lot of homework, and usually the day before we're scrambling to finish up all our tasks before our next meeting, and of course when we come online we're like, oh, we finished that since last week.
No problem. Well, the important thing is that it helps the people to do it, where normally it would just be an idea and they actually slow down the implementation of the idea.
Yes, I can relate to that, because things would not get done for weeks, and then weeks turn into months, and then before you check it, 2 years has passed.
Yes.
So, for example, all the years we have been doing Cashflow, we kept records of everybody, but it's all on paper. We have about 7 to 8 years of clientele on paper, and we were never able to email everybody and get the word out about events or anything of the sort. So John went through our system and he saw what we needed to do, and we installed a new CRM so that we're able to reach out to people, all the Cash Club members, all the past Cash Club members, and make our business system run more efficiently and increase our monetary potential. And
a lot of it will eventually be automated, so Roger or his team doesn't have to send out emails every time someone comes on board, or a new cash flow system, whatever, a new cash flow set of classes come up that you guys can participate in. It self-runs, making everyone's job easier, and nothing ever is forgotten that way.
And that way, I can focus more on selling, my favorite thing. And if you ever hear me talk anywhere in this country, by the way, I do free talks. If you ever hear me talk anywhere in this country, you're going to hear me talk about sales. Sales equals income. It's the number one skill in business. So you need to, what John is saying, to automate your business as much as possible. So as a business owner, you can focus more on selling. A business does not sell itself. Do not fool yourself. If you're thinking about leaving your job to start a business and you don't have a background in sales, my friend, you are going to go broke very quickly. Doesn't matter how much capital you raise or how much money your mommy have in your bank account. It don't matter at all. You are going to go broke very quickly. You need to be able to sell. Sales equals income. Am I right?
Absolutely right. Most businesses simply fail because they have no idea how to get the word out to the public or their audience that they actually will buy, and they assume because they were created and they did some minor, tiny advertisement that they exist in everyone's mind, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and then the marketing budget is done, and no more business coming in, and they'll just sit there like, oh boy, I need to get a job. And JOB stands for just over broke. I know it's a harsh thing to say, but it's true. The more honest you are with people, the better it is for them.
Absolutely.
Right? So one of the books I have here is a book called The ABCs of Building a Business Team That Wins. This is written by Blair Singer. It's a rich dad book. I think now they call it Code of Honor. It's in some of the bookstores. I don't want to call bookstores names. I stopped selling for them. If you can't get it in the bookstores, you can get online, right? On richdad.com or amazon.com, or if you have a Kindle, even better. It's called Code of Honor. And, this is where John's expertise comes in. He basically does what they say in this book and helps you build your business system. He looks for holes and he starts clogging those holes and makes your business more automated so you can focus on making money. And I realize entering the real estate market, a lot of our competitors in the real estate market are, self-employed people that can't sell. A lot of them are horrible in customer service. They don't return people's calls and all kind of craziness.
That's one of the worst parts of selling, by the way, is people fail to follow up.
Yeah, so we got to keep you away from those people so that you don't give business coaching to our competitors in the real estate market. So stay away from, all of them. And
you got it.
Yeah. So I don't call no names on air, but, we want to avoid them as much as possible. So we are going to pay the bills. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with more. The book Rich Dad Poor Dad has impacted millions of lives worldwide. It is a 6-time New York Times bestseller and written in over 150 languages. The tagline for the book is what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and middle class do not. We run one of Rich Dad's largest and most active Cashflow clubs. It is a volunteer-run business school that uses simulations to teach investing, finance, and entrepreneurship. All right, and we're back. Now, the whole purpose of Cashflow Clubs is to give free business and financial advice. Remember, our mission is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. Our mission is to elevate the financial well-being of humanity. That's what we believe in. This is why we do what we do. This is why John is on the set. He is here to help people succeed in business, right? This is why I'm here as well. So, give us a call. Ask us anything.
We take your calls now. 625-2759. 623-8255. 624-7729.
All right. So give us a call anytime. If you miss those numbers, I'll let you know. One, it's 624-7729. So give us a call. We take your calls live on air and we answer your questions. Anything at all.
We take your calls now. 625-2759. 623-8255. 624-7729.
All right. So we have a caller. Welcome to Rich Dad's Cashflow Clubs.
Yeah, hi, morning. I just wanted to know something. Do you have to have capital at all times to start off this business? Or if you have ideas and you want people to come along with you? That's what I wanted to know.
Okay, good question. Now, the thing about Cashflow is that it's simulation based and we're able to teach you how to build a business from scratch and raise capital. So even if you don't have much money, once you have the money to pay for the course, it's just only $1,000, we're able to show you how to raise capital for your business. So, it won't be...
Right, guaranteed to show how to raise capital.
That's what we teach. So you actually practice raising capital over and over and over again in our course. And that's when you start business and you hire somebody like John to help you guide you through making your business successful.
Is there an extra cost?
John, how much do you charge for your coaching?
I have a Caribbean rate, and I don't like to talk about it because I prefer to kind of have an interview meeting with people, and you can call me directly in my cell if you want, which is 744-8555, and I'm happy to schedule that. The only reason is not everyone is a good fit for coaching, and I want to make sure that we're a really good fit before we start working together and we discuss numbers and all that. But I do have a rate that is like a Caribbean Latin rate, which is less than half of what I charge internationally.
That's a discount.
Major discount.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a benefit. If you do Cashflow with Roger and you graduate, I will give you a discount if you buy multiple coaching sessions.
Even better.
Oh, okay. All right. About how many coaching sessions do you really need? I mean, just...
Well, we probably would determine that in the initial meeting. Generally, people probably need 4 to 6 to start out. I have probably a third of my clients are ongoing, and the other ones are usually 3 to 6 months relationships. So I would say 3 to 6 months is more typical for the average person for what they need for coaching.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have there been many failures, or what is your success rate?
Honestly, no, there have not been any failures with anyone I've worked with.
Okay.
So great success rate, because the thing is, with anything in life, it's continuously moving forward to improve what you're doing. So if things are not working well, we'll find out what could be done to improve them. The term is called pivoting, which is kind of if you imagine a ship in the sea, kind of changing course little by little to go towards your objective. That's what a lot of what we do in coaching is, making those slight tweaks consistently that will improve you 2, 5, like a small amount percentage wise towards your objective.
Okay. So, and then you say you should have some kind of starting working capital at all times, or if you don't have, you just have great ideas, but and you know something that could work and will work, but it's just that you don't have the capital.
That's where Cashflow comes in, and that's what makes our program different, because you get to practice raising capital over and over again during the course.
It's an exceptional course. I graduated with my wife, which is the reason I live in Trinidad, and I have to say it was honestly one of the best courses I have ever taken, and I will say that every day because it was very impactful, and it will help you change your mindset towards business and the idea of raising capital. It'll really help you along.
I'm not, because I'm not really a person to go out for sales, but I mean, the ideas that I have, people naturally grab it, so
right.
It's something that naturally flows. But it's to say to go out and I'm not that type of person. Upfront, I'm being upfront. I'm not
Right.
that type of person.
And not everybody is a born salesperson. Some people are made, so that's why we have sales courses as well. So a lot of people at Cashflow started many businesses to help people succeed in business. So one of them is Adrian Havelock. He has a company called Upsell, and he does a kind of simulation-based sales training program that has been doing very, very well. So after Cashflow,
you move on to that.
you move on to sales and coaching, or whatever direction. It just depends on what direction you want to take, depending on your strengths or your weaknesses.
Okay, and what's your number? 007?
My number is 768-6761.
67616. All right. Okay. 768-6761.
Yes.
Okay. And when do classes start?
Cashflow classes. We have one starting today. We have
How often you have it? Let me just find.
how often?
Yeah.
As often as possible. So I have 3 courses running right now. I have 2 more starting.
How long is the course duration time?
My course is 6 weeks long. It's one is a 3-hour session once a week for 6 weeks. So today's class is Wednesday 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sorry, Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
6 p.m. to 9 p.m. It'll be every Tuesday at that time for 6 weeks. Our
And
Wednesday
today's the
class,
first day?
Yeah, today's the first day for this Tuesday class. The Wednesday class tomorrow will be the second day because it started last week, and the Thursday class that started last week as well. And then I have a Monday class starting.
You have no weekend classes.
I have a Monday and a Sunday class starting soon. I'm thinking about putting it for the month end, but I'm not sure. It just depends on demand.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool. No
Right.
problem. Thanks for calling. All right, and we are here to take your calls. Our number is
We take your calls now. 625-2759. 623-8255. 624-7729.
and remember we have a call on the line. Morning. Welcome to Rich Dad's Cashflow Clubs.
Hi, Gibby. I heard you gave your contact number to John, right?
Which one? Me or John?
I think he gave it on to, but I can't remember.
Oh, I'll say it again if you want.
Sure.
All right, so John's number is 744-8555.
85.
55.
And if I happen to be in a meeting or something, don't worry about it. Just leave me a message and I will call you back.
Okay, thanks, John. And my question actually is, just one moment. Your number, the Cashflow guy number is 768-6761.
That'll be me. Yep.
Superb.
Right. Question is, if someone has a job, a good, and they have multiple streams of income in terms of they are an entrepreneur because they have 2 businesses outside.
Nice.
Is that possible to work 8 to 4 and have a successful business, or
Of course.
do the 2?
Yeah, of course. So there are a lot of people at Cashflow Club that still work full time and run a part-time business, and that is actually what you're supposed to do. Most people do that first, and when the cash flow from their part-time business starts trumping their salary, that's when they leave their job and they focus on the business full time and keep on building those sales. And that's what most people do at Cashflow.
Yeah, and I would have to say that most people that don't do that, the businesses have a higher failure rate because the level of confidence you feel in yourself when finances are so tight and you feel like you could be broke tomorrow changes your entire mindset. So that's one of the major benefits. A lot of companies that call it like something on the side or, you know, moonlighting, whatever term you want to call it, but it's a highly recommended business practice.
Yeah, so do it part-time if you have to.
And does Cashflow give you business ideas, or the person have some of their own business ideas?
Oh yeah, Cashflow definitely gives you a lot of business ideas. Not just from us, but from also the other people in the group and the volunteers as well, because Cashflow Club is a volunteer-run organization. So ideas all over the place. Lots of opportunities everywhere.
And they'll give you lots of great book ideas that you can kind of dive into that will really change what you think about idea-wise for business as well.
Okay, and Cashflow is basically a simulation, what you're saying.
A simulation-based course, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you said today the class is starting, you didn't say where.
In St. Augustine. But give me a call and I'll give you directions and everything if you're interested. I think we have about 1 or 2 more spaces left in the class.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. John, thank you very much for coming on the set.
Thank you for having me, Roger.
All right, so next week, Tuesday, we'll be here at the exact same time. This is Rich Dad's Cash Club. Roger Moore tuning out. Thank you very much for listening.